35 years. That is how long it has taken the United States to create an aircraft so advanced that it renders one of the most legendary bombers in history, the B-2 Spirit, obsolete. The aircraft is called the B-21 Raider, a stealth bomber with a radar signature no larger than that of a mosquito. Where the B-2 once cost more than $2 billion per aircraft, the B-21 is projected at just under $700 million. Yet despite its lower cost, it carries the same stealth capabilities, incorporates far more advanced technology, and is designed for mass production. The B-2 Spirit was revolutionary when it entered service in 1989. For decades, it ruled the skies as the world's most feared bomber. Its flying wing design allowed it to evade detection, slipping through enemy air defenses and striking with impunity. It was untouchable, invisible, and a symbol of America's technological supremacy. But the limitations of that era are now clear. The B-2 was engineered to defeat radar primarily from the front, where it would approach its targets. This was sufficient during the Cold War, when most enemy radar arrays were linear and predictable. Yet modern warfare is different. Targets today are surrounded by networks of sensors, overlapping radar fields, and advanced computer systems capable of tracking aircraft from multiple directions. Against this new reality, the B-2's stealth profile left it vulnerable from certain angles, particularly from the sides and rear. The B-21 Raider eliminates those weaknesses. It introduces what engineers describe as full spectrum, 360-degree stealth. No matter the direction, no matter the frequency of radar, the Raider is designed to remain invisible. This is not merely an improvement, it is a complete redefinition of stealth aviation. Every line of the aircraft, every angle of its surface, has been refined using advanced computational design and artificial intelligence. The B-21 is the product of decades of accumulated experience, combined with technologies that were unimaginable when the B-2 first took flight. While adversaries such as China and Russia have invested billions into more powerful radar systems, longer-range missiles, and dense air defense networks, the United States has shifted the battlefield entirely. Instead of building aircraft to resist detection, American engineers have created one that, from every perspective, will not be seen at all. The implications are profound. A bomber that can penetrate the most sophisticated air defense systems in existence ensures that the United States retains global strike capability well into the mid-21st century. With the B-21, the Air Force has not just built a new bomber, it has secured an enduring strategic advantage for the next 50 years. The B-21 Raider is not simply a new aircraft, it is the product of the most advanced computational design systems ever employed in military aviation. Every contour, every angle, and every surface has been calculated with precision to scatter and deflect incoming radio waves away from hostile receivers. The B-2 Spirit once forced America, always its adversaries, to spend billions in pursuit of radar systems capable of detecting it. Yet today, those enormous investments are obsolete. Against the B-21 Raider, they offer no advantage at all. Its radar signature tells the story. Military experts describe the B-21's return on radar as being equivalent to a mosquito. Not a small bird, not even a baseball. A mosquito. Imagine attempting to track such an object with a flashlight in the dead of night. That is the challenge enemy radar operators will face when a Raider passes overhead. But stealth is not only about signature, size matters, and not in the way many expect. The B-2 Spirit was immense, with a wingspan of 172 feet. The B-21 Raider is more compact, measuring approximately 132 feet. This reduction was deliberate. In stealth design, larger surfaces present more opportunities for radar to strike and return a signal. By scaling down the aircraft, engineers dramatically reduced its radar cross-section. Critics might note the reduction in payload capacity. The B-2 could carry up to 40,000 pounds of ordnance, while the B-21 is designed for roughly half that amount, around 20,000 pounds. Yet this is not a weakness. It is an evolution in strategic thinking. In the 1980s, destructive power relied on volume, delivering as many bombs as possible to ensure a target's destruction. Today, the paradigm has shifted. Modern precision-guided munitions are exponentially more accurate. A single smart bomb can eliminate what once required an entire squadron. A single missile can strike with surgical precision, neutralizing hardened bunkers or mobile launchers in seconds. This means the B-21 does not need to carry more weapons. It needs only to carry the right ones. The advantages of its smaller design extend beyond stealth and payload. The Raider can operate from shorter runways, making it deployable from a wider range of bases around the world. It is easier to maintain, requiring fewer resources between missions. And perhaps most critically, its production and operating costs are a fraction of its predecessor. This combination, lower cost, greater flexibility, and superior survivability, ensures that the B-21 will not only serve as a strike platform, but as a force multiplier for the United States Air Force. The technology gap between the B-2 Spirit and the B-21 Raider is nothing short of extraordinary. To appreciate it, we must return to the era in which the B-2 was conceived. When the B-2's design was underway in the late Cold War, the Soviet Union still stood as America's chief adversary. Personal computers were rare, the internet was inaccessible to most of the world, and mobile phones were bulky devices carried only by a privileged few. Engineers relied on traditional drafting methods, physical models, and wind tunnel testing. It was brilliant, groundbreaking work, but it was limited by the tools of its time. The B-21 Raider emerged in a vastly different world, an age defined by artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and revolutionary advances in material science. This technological gulf is what truly separates the two aircraft. Unlike the B-2, which was refined through physical prototypes and manual testing, the B-21 was born in the digital realm. Supercomputers ran millions of simulations, analyzing the flow of electromagnetic waves across every square inch of the aircraft. Artificial intelligence optimized each surface, each edge, and even the placement of individual fasteners. The goal was not merely to reduce radar visibility, it was to minimize detection across multiple spectrums: radio frequency, infrared heat, and acoustic noise. The differences extend far beyond design. Materials tell perhaps the most revealing story. The B-2 relied on radar-absorbing coatings that were revolutionary in the 1980s. These coatings worked, but they were fragile, heavy, and prohibitively expensive to maintain. The famous jet black skin of the Spirit required frequent reapplication inside specialized, climate-controlled hangars, an immense logistical burden for the Air Force. The B-21 Raider revolutionizes this process. Constructed with advanced composite materials that are inherently stealthy, it is further protected by multifunctional coatings embedded directly into its structure. These are lighter, more durable, and more effective than anything used on its predecessor. Unlike the deep midnight black of the B-2, the Raider often appears in lighter shades because its stealth is not reliant on color, but on the physics of its materials. But perhaps the greatest difference lies in cost and production. The B-2 program was plagued by budget overruns and political shifts. Originally, the United States Air Force planned to acquire 132 bombers. In the end, only 21 were ever built. This meant the enormous development costs had to be spread across a tiny fleet, driving the final price of each aircraft to an astonishing $2.2 billion. To put it into perspective, that figure exceeded the annual defense budget of many nations. The B-21 program was designed to avoid those mistakes. Its average projected cost is just under $700 million, less than one-third that of the Spirit. The Air Force intends to purchase at least 100 Raiders, distributing costs across a much larger production run. Modern digital manufacturing has made this possible. From the outset, the Raider was engineered for efficient maintenance, easier upgrades, and streamlined assembly. Northrop Grumman, the prime contractor, reports that the difference between digital design and real-world production has been reduced to just 1%. In previous programs, that gap often reached 20% or more. Such efficiency translates directly into reduced costs, faster production, and a far more sustainable bomber fleet. The result is a platform not only built to dominate the skies, but to remain economically viable for decades to come. The B-21 Raider is not merely an evolution of the B-2 Spirit. It is a fundamentally new kind of aircraft designed for an entirely different battlefield. The B-2 was born in the shadow of the Cold War, conceived primarily as a nuclear strike platform to deter the Soviet Union. The B-21, however, was built for the multi-domain battlefields of the 21st century, where cyber, space, air, land, and sea converge into a single, contested arena. Range and endurance. The Raider possesses intercontinental reach. With a combat radius of over 2,500 miles on internal fuel, it can strike targets deep within enemy territory, while launching from secure bases in the United States or allied nations. By comparison, a modern fighter such as the F-35 can travel less than 1,000 miles before requiring refueling. The difference is profound. The Raider is not simply a bomber, it is a global strike platform. Manned or unmanned. Even more revolutionary is its optionally manned capability. The B-21 can be flown with pilots aboard, or it can operate entirely autonomously through artificial intelligence. This means it can execute dangerous missions deep inside hostile airspace without risking American lives. Command and control. The Raider also functions as a command and control hub. Linked with satellites, surveillance aircraft, and ground forces, it can manage real-time intelligence, synchronize operations, and direct unmanned aircraft. In effect, it serves as a flying command center, one that is virtually undetectable. In future conflicts, the B-21 may not fly alone. It is designed to coordinate with swarms of unmanned systems, often referred to as loyal wingmen. These drones can scout targets, jam enemy radar, or act as decoys, ensuring the Raider itself remains hidden. What once required an entire strike package of support aircraft can now be executed under the command of a single invisible bomber. Weapons and mission flexibility. The Raider's weapons arsenal reflects America's shift to precision warfare. Though its payload is smaller than the B-2's, the munitions it carries are far more lethal. It can deliver joint direct attack munitions with pinpoint accuracy, or launch long-range standoff missiles capable of striking targets hundreds of miles away without ever crossing into enemy airspace. For hardened targets, the B-21 is expected to carry the massive ordnance penetrator, a 30,000-pound weapon capable of destroying deeply buried bunkers. For nuclear deterrence, the Raider will be armed with advanced gravity bombs such as the B-61, as well as the long-range standoff cruise missile. These weapons ensure that even the most heavily fortified adversary remains vulnerable, maintaining a credible and flexible nuclear deterrent into the mid-21st century. Crucially, the B-21 was designed with open systems architecture. Unlike the B-2, whose systems were largely fixed, the Raider can be rapidly upgraded with new weapons, sensors, or electronic warfare suites as technology advances. It is a bomber built not only for today, but for tomorrow's wars. Production and deployment. The program's progress has been swift. The first Raider took flight on November 10, 2023, from Palmdale, California, to Edwards Air Force Base, an event marking the dawn of a new era in strategic aviation. As of 2025, 3 aircraft are engaged in rigorous flight testing, validating everything from aerodynamics to stealth performance. The results remain highly classified, but defense officials confirm that the aircraft has exceeded initial expectations. Low-rate initial production has already begun, backed by billions in additional funding to accelerate the program. The U.S. Air Force intends to field at least 100 B-21 Raiders, with the first squadron expected to achieve operational status by the early 2030s. Unlike the B-2, which required climate-controlled shelters and specialized infrastructure, the Raider is designed for flexibility. It can operate from more conventional facilities, allowing the Air Force to disperse and deploy it worldwide with far greater agility. Strategic implications. The arrival of the Raider sends a clear signal to America's adversaries. For decades, China has invested in anti-access, area denial systems, layered defenses of radar, long-range missiles, and interceptor aircraft designed to keep American forces at bay. Russia has done the same, deploying advanced systems such as the S-400 and S-500, considered among the most formidable surface-to-air weapons in existence. Against the B-21, these defenses are rendered ineffective. What cannot be detected cannot be targeted, and what cannot be targeted cannot be stopped. The strategic balance shifts dramatically. No bunker is safe. No command center untouchable. No air defense impenetrable. With the Raider, the United States ensures that it will retain global reach, dominance in the air, and unmatched deterrence for decades to come. The message is unmistakable. America has once again redefined the future of air power. This is what military strategists call deterrence through strength. When potential adversaries understand that American bombers can strike their most vital targets at any moment, without detection, without warning, they are far less likely to risk aggression in the first place. The very existence of the Raider becomes a weapon in itself, securing peace through fear of its power. The future of American air power. The B-21 Raider is far more than a bomber. It is a glimpse into the future of American military aviation, a testament to the ingenuity, discipline, and vision of the nation's defense industry. What this program has achieved is nothing short of remarkable. 35 years of operational experience with the B-2 Spirit have been distilled into an aircraft 3 times more capable, at 1/3 the cost. This is the kind of innovation only possible through a unique combination of American engineering expertise, cutting-edge industry, and unwavering strategic focus. Unlike earlier programs plagued by delays and cost overruns, the B-21 has remained on schedule and within budget. It proves that when properly managed, America's defense industry can deliver the most complex systems in the world with speed and efficiency. The Raider S open architecture design ensures that it will not be frozen in the technology of its era. Instead, it will evolve. Artificial intelligence, quantum computing, directed energy weapons, these emerging capabilities can all be integrated seamlessly as they mature. The aircraft is not just ready for today's conflicts. It is built for the unknown battles of tomorrow. While rival nations continue to struggle with first-generation stealth prototypes, the United States is already fielding a 6th-generation system, rendering their efforts obsolete before they even leave the runway. Why the B-21 dominates the B-2? So why does the B-21 Raider surpass the legendary B-2 Spirit? The answer lies in every dimension of its design. Stealth, full spectrum, 360-degree invisibility versus the Spirit's frontal stealth profile. Cost effectiveness? At $692 million per unit, compared to $2.2 billion for the B-2, the Raider can be built in numbers sufficient to truly project power worldwide. Technology integration. An open systems framework allows continuous upgrades, while the B-2 remains anchored in 1980s technology. Operational flexibility. The B-21 can fly manned or unmanned, command drone formations, serve as a mobile command center, and adapt to missions the Spirit was never designed to perform. Production efficiency. Modern manufacturing allows faster, cheaper production with unprecedented precision. Mission adaptability. The Raider is designed for 21st century threats, not the Cold War battlefields of the past. The B-2 Spirit was perfect for its time. It gave the United States unmatched ability to penetrate Soviet defenses during the final years of the Cold War. But the world has changed. The threats are new, the battlefields more complex, and the B-21 Raider represents the culmination of everything learned over decades of stealth operations. Conclusion. The B-21 Raider does more than symbolize American technological superiority. It guarantees it for generations. While adversaries spend billions chasing the shadows of yesterday's stealth, the United States has already embraced the future. This aircraft embodies the essence of American power: bold innovation, advanced manufacturing, cost-effective production, and strategic foresight. It ensures that the men and women of the United States Air Force will possess the most capable bomber ever built, an aircraft able to penetrate any defense, strike any target, and return home unscathed. That is not simply military capability. It is a shield of deterrence, a guarantor of peace through strength. Every time the B-21 Raider lifts from the runway, it sends a message to the world. America remains the undisputed leader in air power. Its adversaries cannot match its technology. Its allies can depend on its protection. And its service members will always fight with the most advanced tools on Earth. For over 30 years, the B-2 Spirit carried the burden of strategic deterrence. It served with distinction, a silent guardian of American skies. Now, the torch passes to the B-21 Raider, a weapon forged for a new century. With it, American air power has never been stronger, and the skies have never been safer.